over the cells test study guide. Number 1 says list 3 characteristics of living things and give an example of a non-living thing. So I listed a bunch of characteristics of living things. One of them is growth, to meaning to get larger. One of them is reproduction, meaning to have babies. Another one is homeostasis. They need to keep their internal conditions the same or stay at a certain temperature. Another one is they need to be able to respond, which is reaction, like shiver, sweat, blink, etc. Number 2, the difference between a unicellular and a multicellular organism. A unicellular just has one cell that performs all the functions it needs to live, and a multicellular organism has more than one cell, and it's usually complex. Each one of those cells has like a specialized function for that particular organism. Number 3, living cells are composed of cells. Number 4, the basic needs of a living thing are energy, water, living space, stable internal conditions, which means homeostasis, right? Number 5, all living things grow and develop. What's the difference between growth and development? So growth means to get bigger, but development means to get more complex, okay? So like where something might start out as one cell and then 2 and then 3 and then 6 and then 15, whatever, okay, multiplying cells to create different functions. Number 6, all living things respond to stimulus, which are changes in the environment, might be temperature, might be light, okay? Number 7, what is reproduction? It really means to produce offspring. Number 8, what is homeostasis? Give an example of how a living thing maintains this condition. It means to maintain stable internal conditions like shivering, closing your eyes, blinking, avoiding things. Sorry, this is really blurry. I don't know why it just is. Hopefully you can just understand me. Number 9, what is a microscope and what is it used for? A microscope is used for seeing small things. It was a tool that makes small objects look larger. It also really helped in discovering cells and learning more about them. 3 parts of the cell theory. Number 1, not in any particular order. All living things are made of cells. Cells are the basic unit of living things, and all cells are produced from other cells. All right, let's go to the next page. Which image is a living thing and how do you know? This image is a living thing because it has cell walls, nucleus, vacuoles. You can see that it's made out of cells. This is not a living thing. This is actually a salt and what it looks like underneath a microscope. So if it's not living, it's not made out of cells. If it's living, it's made out of cells. Number 12 says define stimulus and give an example of a stimulus and a response. And so a stimulus is a change in the environment. It might be temperature dropping and so an example would be temperature dropping and then the thing shivers to warm up. Or maybe the temperature rises and the organism sweats to cool down. You should be able to label an animal cell and practice below. So number 1 is mitochondria. Number 2 is cytoplasm. Number 3 is a vacuole. Number 4 is the cell membrane. Number 5, ribosomes, those little dots there. Number 6 is the nucleus. Number 7 is the endoplasmic reticulum. And number 8 is the Golgi body. All right, let's look at the next page together. Let's see if I can bring that down so we can see it. Number 14 says be able to label a plant cell and practice below. So number 1 is the cell wall, number 2 is the ribosome, number 3 is the endoplasmic reticulum, number 4 is the nucleus, number 5 is the cell membrane, number 6 is a chloroplast, 7 is the vacuole, one large vacuole, right? 8 is the Golgi body, 9 is the mitochondria, and 10 is the cytoplasm. I still love that word. All right, be able to tell the difference between a plant cell and an animal cell, list some ways that they are different. So plant cells have one vacuole. Animal cells have a few vacuoles. Plant cells have cell walls. Animal cells do not. Chloroplasts are in plant cells. Animal cells don't have chloroplasts. They do have lysosomes, though, and plant cells don't. Plant cells are rectangular, and animal cells are rounded. All right. I asked you to be able to describe the primary function of each organelle as it relates to the cell. So you actually have this table, and it was blank on this side. So look at your table while I read you the answers. The nucleus directs cell activity. It controls eating, movement, and reproduction. Chloroplasts capture energy from sunlight and produce food for the plant cell. Mitochondria produce energy for the cell. Cell membrane is not an organelle, but it controls what goes in and out of the cell. The cell wall gives the cell rigidity and shape. The endoplasmic reticulum, or ER, carries material from one part of the cell to another. Ribosomes produce protein. Golgi bodies receive materials from the ER and send them to other parts of the cell. They also release materials outside the cell. Vacuoles store water, food, and waste products, and lysosomes contain chemicals that break down food particles and worn out cell parts. Please let me know if you have any questions. We'll go over those together. Good luck on the test.